Match number 3 of the playoffs underway. One of these teams will be moving on to the finals. One of these teams will move down to the depths of the lower bracket. 4 pieces of coral having been placed for the Red Alliance. 3 pieces of coral having been placed by the Blue Alliance. And drivers step forward and take control. Robotoads with a piece of coral in their hand, and they drop it immediately onto that 4th level, grabbing another piece off the floor and providing it quickly onto that 4th level. Red side of the field, and it looks like Stormbot's currently not moving. Their alliance partners are going to have to move them out of the way if they want to remove that algae out of the reef. Current score 61 to 67 in favor of that Blue Alliance. It looks like Stormbots have come back to life, and they are now moving around the field. Error Code 0 lining up with their alliance station. They have a piece of coral in hand, and they're moving to the reef and have to move around their alliance partners, 36-36, the Generals, who pull a piece of algae off of that reef. Blue side of the field, Robotoads placing a piece of coral on the 3rd level. Their alliance partners, Gravity Rex, with a piece of algae, and they drop it onto the barge. Blue Alliance field looking rather clean of algae. Only 2 pieces of algae remaining on the field. Gravity Rex moving back to the barge with that piece of algae, making it 1 piece of algae left on the field as they successfully place it up onto the barge. 2 spots remain for the Blue Alliance on level 4. Red Alliance have a couple more than that, but they can still catch up in this match. 104 to 140, your current scores. Generals with a piece of coral in hand. They line up with the reef. Looks like they're going for level 2, and it just misses and falls down to the 1st level. Blue side of the field, and it looks like a piece of algae getting thrown up by the human player up into that blue barge. The blue barge is looking rather full of algae. The red barge looking rather barren. Will 36-36, the Generals, be able to do anything about that? No, they knock that piece of algae onto the floor before going back to their human player and grabbing a piece of coral from them. Another piece into their robot. They line up with another level 3, and it just falls down to the ground. We are in the end game here. A piece of algae goes up for that Blue Alliance. Stormbots lining up with their deep cage. Will they be able to get this climb right here? Looks like this piece of algae potentially in the way of that Red Alliance. 24-12, Robotoads up in the air, Gravity Rex up in the air, SK in the parking zone. It looks like no blue robots were able to get up off of the ground. 151 to 203, your preliminary score, but we'll have your final score to you in a moment. Let's take a look at the final scores. Who's going to the finals? It's the Blue Alliance! 229 to 155, just missing out on that high score of the event, but they have secured themselves a place in the finals. Meanwhile, Alliance number 4 dropping down to the depths of the lower bracket, where they will face the winner of match number 4.